been doing a few videos on hip rotation, and if you've watched those and kind of figured out maybe which hip is externally rotated today. So I'm gonna work on the left externally rotated hip, and maybe some of the other exercises like kneeling bothered your knee, or you just didn't feel it very well, or the squat, you're just not up to that yet. It's hard to squat, or you can't keep your heels down, or it's just painful on your knees. We'll try the Turkish Get Up, and most people hear the Turkish Get Up or they know what it is, and it's difficult. We're gonna really level it down. We're gonna go lightweight or maybe no weight at all. I like a little bit of a weight because it forces you to really lock that arm out. But again, we're really working on the hip and the knee and the ankle, right? So it is important what the arm is doing, but we don't have to go super heavy for this one. And we're not going to go through the whole motion. We're just going to keep it to the first two moves. But even just getting down to the ground, you can just lay on your back if you want and follow along. I'm going to show you in reverse what the Turkish Get Up kind of looks like without putting my weight through the ceiling, because it is kind of short here. So if I want to work on my left, I'm actually going to put the bell in the right hand. So normally you're up and your weight's in the air and you got a good strong core, and then you're just going to step that left leg back, right? So we'll bring that guy down, and the left hand's down, the hand's still up. We'll kick that leg out, and then we'll lay here. All right, let's get it down here in this position. Hopefully you can see me, it's not too dark. Head's on the ground, I got the bell there. So I want to be planting my left heel into the ground very strongly here. You'll notice sometimes as you're getting up into this Turkish Get Up position, that leg will kind of kick into the air. That's not what you want. So give a little bend in the knee. Really pull your toe towards your nose. Subtle bend in the knee just so it's not locked out. You'll feel that kind of in your hamstring, the belly of the hamstring. And that dorsiflexion, you feel that pull and connect. Sometimes when we dorsiflex, right, the knee locks out. But if we got that knee bent and dorsiflexion at the same time, it actually takes that externally rotated hip, kind of turns it in just a little bit. So that thumb is pulling inwards, activating kind of that whole leg up into the core. The psoas is engaging, help anchor, pull the hip in. So that is a contact we want to keep throughout this whole first part here. So we're pressing the bell, got the elbow pretty locked out. Open hand, closed hand, doesn't matter. And elbow's going to be down, so my left elbow's down. On screen it's the right. When I post this on YouTube, I will uninvert it, or I'll try to remember to do that. So if you're really confused with left and rights, check that out on YouTube. So I'm going to keep that planted, and I'm going to do a bit of a crunch. So my elbow's helping me out, my other foot is pushing in, and I'm just crunching up. I could feel that heel wanting to come off the ground. Don't let it. Let's work through that a few times. Slowly lower down. Slowly come up. Feel that good connection there with that heel. Then at this point, I'm going to move a little over away from the couch a little bit. So elbows down, then I'm going to place the hand down. And then I'm really going to have to push. So you notice that hip is going to want to rotate in external rotation. A lot of people, when they go up, it gets sloppy. It ends up looking like that, where my foot turns out and the whole hip is turned out. The anti-rotation comes in because we're keeping this hip internally rotated. The whole body is rotating over top of it. That leg's going to want to go with the motion. Don't let it. So let's run through that whole step one more time. A little bend in the knee. Strong dorsiflexion. Pull your toes towards your nose. Plant that left elbow. Press the bell. Pull yourself up. Hand goes down. And to push that heel into the ground. Lift up. Try to open up both arms so your chest is broad. And then we'll just come right back down. Nice and slow. If you want, you can run through the whole thing, or you can do a few reps right here. Pulling those hips up towards the ceiling. Nice and shaky. You should feel that a lot in your hip. So we're not going through the full Turkish Get Up. This may be something your foot can handle if you got some problems there in the ankle, or you didn't like the kneeling stuff. Good stretch in that shoulder as well. Let me run through another angle for you. Pressing that in. Other foot, pushing down pretty firm as well. There, don't let that foot come off the ground. So maybe you're just working through, keeping that foot pressing into the ground. And don't like collapse back down. Control that motion. Hand comes down, pressing. Work that. So normally from here, we'll take that back like that. Eye on the bell. Let's run through that one more time. Hand comes down. Press that heel in. You're lifting the hips high. A lot of times I'll be here and I'll just kind of flop that leg. Make sure you really extend those hips up first. Then plant that. And then the rest is pretty easy. We'll step. A lot of people add a little rotation if you want, or you could just face forward. I can punch my ceiling. So I'm hunching down a little bit because we got some short ceilings here. Reversing that, where you can turn if you want. Soft knee, that was pretty rough. Here, hips up, back down. Slowly control that weight. Good. So you notice I do this only on one side because I know my weak side. I know this hip wants to turn out. So all that motion is really going to help align that. And we've talked about this before, how your body's going to compensate. And if you're not doing the exercise very strict, like I tried to do today, I might not notice left to right, which was harder. As soon as you run through those steps, you won't have your body compensating and cheating through the motion. And then you'll really notice where your hips are sticking or which is more shaky and tighter for you to do. And that'll help you figure out which side is tight and get better at it.